Welcome to session 3 of Key Steps, Gymnasts at Home. This is the final session, the final video of all our activity cards. I do hope you've enjoyed them as much as we've enjoyed making them for you. In this week's session, we're going to do a number of different skills. Some of them are progressions from last week and the week before, and some of them might be a little bit new for you. Before we start this week's session, can I ask you, like we did last week, that if you've got a skipping rope, to just run and get it now, because we might be using it later. Don't worry if you haven't got a skipping rope though, because we can imagine. That's always great fun. This week, we've got 2 gymnasts that are going to help us. We've got Amy and we've got Noah. Hi both, thank you for helping. Brilliant. As you can see, Amy and Noah are outside. They've made sure they've got plenty of space around them. I wonder if you could do the same. Make sure that you're not going to bump into anything or trip over anything or knock anything off any shelves. Fabulous. So, like all our other sessions, this week's session has a warm-up game, some activities, and a cool-down game. So, are you ready to start? Shall we have a look at the warm-up game? So, Noah's going to demonstrate our warm-up game. This week's warm-up game is called the bean game. So I'm going to shout out a number of different beans. If we imagine we've dropped beans all over the floor, I'm going to shout out different beans and Noah's going to do some shapes, show us some shapes that I'm going to ask you to do during the game. So should we see Noah's demonstration? Right then. So I might shout, run a bean. So as you can see, Noah's running on the spot. Great stuff. Well done, Noah. I might shout out maybe jumping bean. And he's jumping up and down. There he goes. I might shout out string bean. And he's standing really tall. Look how tall he is. I might also shout out broad bean. And he's standing in a star shape, nice and wide. I might shout out baked bean. And he's curled up in a little ball, like a little baked bean. There we go. Thank you for that demonstration, Noah. So, are you all ready to play? So here we go. Run a bean. Fabulous. So running on the spot. I'm going to shout out next. Baked bean, please. Down in a little curled up ball. Jumping bean, I think. There we go. Up and down. Well done, everybody. Next, we're going to go broad bean. And string bean. Yeah. Jumping bean. There we go. Run a bean again. Run a bean. Running around on the spot. That's it. Up and down, up and down. Baked bean. Little bean on the floor. That's it. String bean. Oh, nice and tall. Nice and stretched. Amazing. Broad bean. Nice and stretched out. Jumping bean. And I think we'll finish with baked bean. Oh, brilliant. Look at that. Great. Well done, everybody. Thank you, Noah. Is your heart beating fast? Are you all ready to start our activities? Great stuff. Right, so we'll start with activity 1. During activity 1 this week, we're going to do some of those progressions from last week. So we're going to look at some skipping. If you remember last week, we skipped up to 5 times. This week, we're going to try and skip a little bit more. And we're going to do some dish shapes. Last week, we did dish shapes with 1 leg. We're going to progress that and use 2 legs this week. And we're going to do roll from arch to dish and dish to arch. So we've done both shapes, but we're going to join them together. And for this week's activity 1, Amy's going to help us. So like the warm-up game and like all our other videos, Amy's going to demonstrate everything first. So if you watch Amy first, then it'll be your go. Are you ready to start? Shall we look at the first part of activity 1? Hi, Amy. So we're going to be looking at skipping. So Amy's going to pretend. This is where we need our skipping rope, but this is the imagine skipping rope. So she's just getting her skipping rope. There we are. So she's got a lovely pink skipping rope there. So she did it without the skipping rope, and now she's doing it with the skipping rope. Fantastic. Thank you, Amy. Great. So she's going to do it again, just to show us. And notice Amy's got her trainers on because she's jumping around. So she's bringing her knees up. Great stuff. How many is she doing? Can you count? Think that might be 10. That's what we're going to progress to. That's what we're all going to have a go at this week. Thank you, Amy. Are you guys ready? Right, here we go. Let's do the pretend first. There we go. Oh my goodness, look at that. Massive skipping rope. Fabulous, well done. How are you getting on? So if you've got a skipping rope now, maybe you can pick it up. Again, make sure you're not going to hit anything off the shelves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. That was the same as last week. We're progressing slowly. I think we're going to eventually get to 10. So here we go. Let's try again. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh my goodness. Did you do 10 like Amy without stopping? Skipping's quite hard. You need coordination for skipping. You need to coordinate your hands and your feet together. Great stuff. Skipping also makes you a little bit out of breath. So I hope you're all okay for our next activity. Our next activity is a dish shape. So Amy's going to demonstrate again, and then it'll be your go. So she's taking the trainers off now because she wants to show you a beautiful pointy toes, and she's on a mat outside. So starting in a tuck. If you remember last week, we started the same. Lay down flat. That's it. And then she brings her shoulders up and she keeps her legs nice and straight. So that's a progression from last week's shapes. There we go. Starting in a tuck shape. This is good for your core. Stretching her arms out and her feet and her legs. Great. Look at that. Thank you, Amy. Are you all ready to have a go? So let's see. So sitting on the floor, make sure you've got space. Nice straight legs. Pop into your tuck shape. Lie down flat on the floor. Then lift your shoulders off the floor and your legs off the floor. So tuck and then flat. Shoulders and legs off the floor. Well done. Should we have another go? Tuck shape, flat shape, dish shape. Well done. Tuck. And how's your core feeling? One leg. So that was last week's. These are really hard shapes. Tuck shape. Really good for your core muscles. Flat shape. Look how stretched she is. Beautiful straight legs. And that's the dish shape. Well done. So now we're going to use that dish shape and an arch shape we used last week, and we're going to roll between the shapes without getting off the floor. So we're going to go from one to the other with a roll. So again, check around you because you're going to be moving along the floor. Make sure that you're not going to bump into anything or hurt yourself on anything that's already on the floor. Maybe make some space around you. Right, so should we watch Amy's demonstration first? Then it's your go. Right then. So again, Amy's got a mat. She's made sure that she's got plenty of space. So let's watch her demonstration. So she's starting on her front. Stretching again. Look, she's stretched to her fingertips, right the way down to her toes. So there's the arch shape we did last week. And she's rolling. Oh, it's quite difficult. To a dish shape. Now, did you notice her feet and her arms and her legs and her feet and arms don't touch the floor at all? So that's where you've got to stay really tight. This is what I was saying before about practicing, and then your core becomes really strong. Right then, let's copy Amy now. Nice. Start with beautiful legs, pointed toes, over onto your front. Squeeze your toes, squeeze your legs, and up into an arch. Keep your toes pointed together. See if you can. Oh, into a dish. Fantastic. Remember the dish that we've just done? There you go. Are your arms not touching the floor like Amy? Keep your legs off the floor as well. Right. Dish and arch in gymnastics are really important shapes. So let's see. It's really important that we can go from one to the other. There we are. Well done, Amy. Well done, everybody. Look, nice pointed legs, straight arms. Shall we see if she can do it again? Can you do it again? Let's see. So from your front in an arch, stay tight, roll to a dish, hold that dish, roll back. Did you notice a smile? I think Amy's enjoying herself. I hope you are too. So let's see. So nice and tight in your arch and over you roll, concentrating hard. Lovely. And back again. Fantastic. Great shapes today. So thank you, Amy. How did you all get on at home? That brings us to the end of activity 1. You're learning lots and lots of shapes today, lots of new skills and lots of new progressions. So we're going to move on to activity 2. Now, in activity 2, there's a progression from last week. So last week we did lift to half lever. We did some progressions. So Noah's going to help us with some of those progressions. Last week we did a Japana. This week we're doing a pike fold. And last week we did a front support, lower to the ground. But this week we're going to do a press up. So I'm sure you've all heard of a press up, but then that's a progression from the things that we've already done. So shall we have a look? Again, in this activity, the gymnasts are going to show us, demonstrate, and then it'll be your turn. So, right, shall we watch Noah first in some more progressions to lift to half lever? So Noah's sitting on the floor on his mat, lots of space. Right, he's lifting his hips and one leg. Very good. So he's off the floor, he's pushing off the floor, and he's changed legs. Can you see Noah's pointy toes, even though he's got his trainers on? That's because his legs are really stretched. Now it's your go. Are you ready? So sitting in a pike, your fingers pointing towards your toes, looking straight ahead, and push against the floor, lift your hips up, and lift one of your legs. Noah's lifting his right leg. It doesn't matter, whichever you're most comfortable with. And do the same and swap over. Make sure your wrists are underneath your shoulders. There we go. When you're pushing up, your fingers are facing forward. Your wrists and your shoulders and your elbows are all in a straight line. Great. Lift your hips up and point your toe. Fantastic work. These are you need big muscles to do these. So like we've always said, lots of practice and you'll be able to do them really, really easily. So point that toe, lift those hips up. Great stuff. Well done. Like I said, look forward. So Noah looked forward all the way through that. That was really good. Well done, everybody. Your arm's aching. Give them a bit of a shake. Ready for our next part of activity 2. So like I said, last week we did a Japana fold, stretched fold. This week we're going to do a pike fold. And Amy's going to come back and show us. So Amy's going to demonstrate a pike fold. There she is. And once she's finished her demonstration, it'll be your go. So she's starting in that tuck shape again. And she's going to, watch what she's going to do. So starting in a tuck shape. Pushes her legs forward, lovely and straight, reaches up to the sky like we did last week with our Japana. Let's see, lovely, pointed straight knees. She's helping us there. She's giving us some coaching tips. Let's see, can you do this? Stretching forward. Did you notice her nose is touching her knees? Great. Don't worry if you don't get this first time. Amy's been practicing these shapes for a long time. Thank you, Amy. So once you practice for a long time, you'll be able to do it. But let's have a go now. Right, so everybody's sitting nice and tall. Bring your legs in. Hold on to your knees. And legs beautiful. Stretch out your legs in front of you. Point your toes. Remember, straighten those knees. Remember, Amy gave us coaching tips again. Make sure your knees are nice and straight. arms up to the ceiling, and stretch forward and down, right to a pike fold. Wonder, can you touch your toes with your hands? Let's try it again. So starting in that tuck shape on the floor, one leg and then two legs, knees, oh, knees, there we go. Nice straight knees, knees to the ceiling as well. That's very important. And then she's stretched up. She's hiding her ears with her arms there. So stretching forward. Can you see her hands are nearly touching her toes? That's brilliant. Let's have another go. Keep practicing. Stretching forward, arms up to the ceiling, stretch to the fingertips, straight knees. Amy's doing a grand job of giving you some coaching tips. And she's going to stretch forward. There we are. And her hands are beyond her toes. She's been practicing this a lot, I think. Thank you, Amy. Well done, everybody. Remember, keep practicing and then your nose will be able to touch your knees before you know it. Fantastic. Right, let's go on to the last part of activity 2. Now, do you remember I said it was a progression from our front support lower to the ground? This is a press up. So we see press ups all the way through gymnastics, through all the disciplines. They all use a press up, some for conditioning, some for routines. So Noah's going to show us a press up. He's going to show us the different stages of a press up. So if you watch his demonstration, then it'll be your turn to have a go. So look, he's starting there, outside, lots of space on his hands and his knees. And he's going to go from that shape. So his shoulders are over his wrists. Into that front support shape we did last week. Using all his muscles to lower to the ground and push back up. That's really hard. Fabulous. Thank you, Noah. I really like that. Your go. Are you ready? So if you start in the same shape as Noah, that's it. On your hands and on your knees. Walk your hands out. There's that front support shape we've done last week. There's the lower to the floor. This is the new bit. Push with all your muscles into a press up. That's it. So you've done it once. It's easy the second time. And down to the floor. And push back up. So if you notice, Noah keeps that nice straight shape in his back. And his fingers are facing forward. They're not facing out. So if you look at your fingers, are they facing forward? There we go. And he's going to push back up. Well done, Noah. These are really difficult. Maybe you could challenge your mum or your dad or a sibling perhaps. Well done, Noah. Really good work. Well done, everybody. I'm very impressed. That's activity 2 done. Well done. Right, are you ready for activity 2? I hope you've saved some energy. Activity 3, sorry. I hope you've saved some energy because in activity 3, we're going to do a bridge. So last week and the week before we did shoulder flexibility. And that's because when you do a bridge, you need flexible shoulders. Noah's going to lead us through some different kinds of jumps. And then he's going to show us his jump sequence, which I'm hoping you'll be able to copy. And then, well, the jump sequence is the last thing. So, should we do activity 3? Should we go to the bridge first? Right, are you ready? Right, let's watch Amy. She's demonstrating. So she's ready. And she's going to show us her bridge. There we go. She's showing us, she's reminding us of the shoulder flexibility from last week. Very good coaching point there, Amy. She's stretching forward and she pushed her shoulders to the floor. There we are. She's ready. So make sure you do that. And she's going to show us her bridge. Right. You watching? There's nothing around for Amy to bump into or knock into. So she started flat on the back. She put her hands by her shoulders and her feet. She bent her knees and brought her feet in. There we go. Fantastic. Thank you, Amy. Bridge is a quite advanced. It's a quite advanced move for gymnastics. Don't worry if you don't get it first time. Again, let's just practice. So your go. Are you ready? Sitting on the floor, down flat. If you bend your knees and bring them in, feet flat on the floor, Amy's hands just by her shoulders, and then she pushes up in one action. There we are. Look at that. That's a nice bridge, isn't it? Well done, Amy. How are you getting on? So lying down flat again, brings her knees in. Hands, oh, she's just moving her hair. That's it. Make sure you don't catch your hair. There we are. That's brilliant. These are quite complex moves. Need lots of practicing. But if we do the shoulder flexibility that we've already worked on, that will help. So then, lovely straight legs, feet flat on the floor, straight arms. Great stuff. Thank you, Amy. And well done, everybody. How did you get on? Great. Brilliant. Right, let's move on to jumps. So Noah's going to show us a few different jumps that we use in gymnastics. He's going to remind us of one or two we might have done before, but also some that we haven't. So he's going to demonstrate 3 different kinds of jumps, and then it'll be your go. Okay then, are you ready? Let's watch Noah. So he's got his trainers on because he's jumping around, so he didn't want to cause any injuries. So he's showing us a tuck jump. Wow, that was really high. And look at his brilliant landing. Star jump. Great landing, Noah. So you notice his feet are shoulder width apart on his landing, and then a stretch jump. Fantastic. Right. Do you think you could do that? Let's see. So let's see. What did he start with? Can you remember? I think I can. It was a tuck jump. So notice his knees come up and they cover his belly button. And he lands very safely. Star jump. Feet are shoulder width apart on his landing. Stretch jump. Really pushed off the floor in his stretch jump. Tuck jump. Great. Brilliant landing. Star jump. Push your legs out nice and straight. And then stretch jump. And great landing again. Tuck. He goes very high. I bet you do too. Star. And stretch jump. Now Noah's landing very safely, just like I expect you guys are, because he doesn't want to fall over and bump into things. So well done. Remember, if you practice in your jumps, to make sure that you've got plenty of space and that you're landing safely. Right then, should we move on to the next part of activity 3? Noah's going to show us using those jumps a sequence. If you watch him, then you can try. So he's not going to stop between any of the jumps this time. He's going to do what we call rebound between the jumps. Tuck, star, tuck. Look at that. Oh my gosh, he's going really quickly. Fantastic. Well done, Noah. He looked like he enjoyed that. Do you want to have a go? Are you ready? So just copy Noah. Ready? Here we go. He's going to do it a few times, so don't worry if you miss the first time. Tuck, straight, tuck, star. Oh, well done. Did you see the rebound between the jumps? Tuck, straight, tuck, star, straight, tuck, star. There we are. That was really quick. How are you getting on? There you go. Tuck, star, straight, tuck, star. There we go. Well done, Noah. Jumping around like that gets your heart rate going as well. So, how are you feeling? Is your heart going really, really quickly? Right, that's okay. But you can maybe have a little sit down, because if you remember the last 2 weeks, we've asked the gymnasts to do a sequence of the moves. So this week I've asked Amy to try and remember some of the moves she did before and use the moves from this week. So that's what my homework to you is this week. See if you can do a sequence using all the shapes that we've learned. Right, shall we watch Amy as an example? She won't mind if you copy her sequence, but maybe you could make your own up. Brilliant, let's have a look. So let's see what she does. This is a surprise. So There we go. Again, make sure you've got lots of space around you. Look at that lovely dish shape. There's the dish with one leg. Remember, that was the progression for the dish. Oh, we're going, I think I know. Arch to dish. Back to arch. Back to dish. This is really good core workout, Amy. Right. Front support. She going to go up, do you think? Yes, well done. Press up. So she's losing lots of different shapes. I'm sure you could as well. 2 press-ups. Oh my goodness. There we are. There's the lever shapes as well. So remember, her shoulders, elbows and wrists are all in line. Her hips are off the ground. She's bringing her legs up and down. So let's see. I think I know what this is. It's the bridge. There we go. So she started flat. She put her hands by her shoulders. That's it. And again. Great stuff. There we are. Great stuff, Amy. Well done. Well done. And I think she might be using shapes from last week now as well. So nice and tall. She's doing a Japana, do you remember? And there we go. Remember, we needed nice straight legs, pointy toes, knees to the ceiling if we can. There we are. And up she goes. Great, well done, Amy. I really enjoyed that sequence. How did you guys get on? Did you think they were good? Right, so what you have to do now, your turn to practice your sequences. That's all our activities done. All we've got left to do is play the cool down game. Now this cool down game is it's a new cool down game. It's called rainbow shapes. So who can remember the colours of a rainbow? We've got red, yellow, pink, green, purple, orange, blue, seven colours. So that means there's going to be 7 commands. But we've also got the word rainbow. So I might ask you to do something when I shout out rainbow. So Noah's going to demonstrate 7 commands for 7 colours. When I shout out a colour, Noah's going to do a command or a shape or a skill. And we might be using some of the skills or shapes we've learned over the last 3 weeks. Are you ready? Right, let's watch Noah. Here we go. So if I shout out red, wonder what he'll do. He's going to show us a tuck jump. That's it, a tuck jump. If I shout out yellow, star jump. Pink is a dish shape. Green, arch shape. Purple is our broad jump. Do you remember we did broad jump? Orange, front support, lower to the floor, which we've just done. And then blue is shoulder flexibility. Now, Noah's showing a different kind of shoulder flexibility, but lots of you will use this in your gym. And rainbow, rainbow. He's doing the shape of a rainbow. Right then, should we play and are you ready? So off we go. Make sure you've got space because there's lots of movement. So red, please, everybody. Tuck jump. There we go. So jog between your shapes and yellow. That's it. And orange. Oh, hold. Rainbow. There we go. Rainbow. And purple, jog, and then purple. Broad jump. Make sure you've got space. Rainbow again. Rainbow. There we go. Rainbow. And back to jogging. Blue. Who can remember blue? There's that different kind of shoulder flexibility. Great. Back to jogging. Green. There we are. There's your lovely arch shape. Let's see. Back to your jogging. Pink. Pink. Who can remember? Dish. Great stuff. Well done. And then red. That's it. Tuck jump. Rainbow, please, everybody. Amazing. And blue. Shoulder flexibility. Great. Jogging on the spot. I think we'll do purple, please. Fabulous jumping, you guys. Rainbow. Great, well done. Orange. Don't push back up, remember. Front support lower to ground. Green. Heart shape. Yes. Few more. And yellow. There we are, our nice star jump. And rainbow to finish, I think. Great stuff. Well done. Thank you, Noah. Well done, everybody. Bye, Noah. Right. So thank you to Noah and thank you to Amy for helping us out tonight. And thank you to you guys for joining in. That brings us to the end of all our videos. And this week, you've learned loads and loads of different shapes and jumps, different progressions for shapes throughout the last couple of weeks. We hope you've enjoyed it, like I said, as much as we've enjoyed doing it for you. Don't forget to video yourself doing your shapes and your sequences and upload them onto social media using #GymnasticsAtHome. We hope you continue to enjoy your gymnastics and hopefully see you soon. Bye-bye.